lives, with no health care, lives with
Yeah.
a minimum wage job and is working the best that they can. I mean, I'm really happy you brought up this conversation too, because like with what happened with Chaperone, you're like, I don't know if you saw
Who
her
was that?
Chaperone.
Child, tell me who.
H-O-T-T-O to go. Come on. You don't know who Blossom C. Brown. You're about to get it in the comments. Girl, they're going to read you for Phil.
But you know they do that anyway.
Listen, first of all, big fan of Chaperone. Please, 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 if you want to come on our podcast, just email us, find a way to contact us, and we will have you on 100%.
I would love to meet you. I'm just saying.
First of all, her music is amazing. And
Okay.
it's crazy because I didn't think I would relate to her music, but the way that she writes as, a queer woman, and she just played in Austin, largest crowd, right? And you look at it and you're just like, oh my God, I haven't seen this since like Michael Jackson. That many people show up for an artist. It is so amazing to see so many people
I have to see a picture
support.
of her.
Oh, you look it up, trust. And I'm sure other people in the comments are going to remind you and be like, Blossom, you don't know who that is?
Yeah.
Anyways, back to her political point. So she took a huge hit recently because she was like, I don't like my choices. I don't like the situation. I don't like what's going on in Gaza. I don't like what's going on Trump's side. Mm-hmm. But she still said, I am still going to vote for Kamala Harris.
I love that.
And we as queer people have to understand that there's no such thing as a perfect candidate, as much as we wish that there was. Because like you said, the system was not built for us, and we have to build within the system that we have. And if we want to tear it down and create a new system, we should be not doing that every 4 years. We should be doing the work throughout the other 3 years and stop waiting for that last year for things like Jill Stein to come in and people to create that whole conversation about the third party. Like if we're going to do a third party candidate, then where are you the other 3 years doing that campaign groundwork? And that's where we as a community, I think, need to come together and understand, because from what I see, you and I go on Jubilee. We've got new episodes coming out, to 2 separate episodes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they brought us back. Yeah. Yes, they did.
At the time of this episode,
mine should be premiered.
Yours is going to
premiere.
premiere.
So I can say mine.
And part 1 of mine will premiere, and part 2 will premiere the day after this episode comes out. So a lot of y'all are not going to like what I have to say.
And a lot of y'all are going to be shocked at what I and who I spoke with. But you know what?
I can't wait to see yours, so I'm excited.
But even with the Jubilee space, the one thing that I really appreciate about you is that you are willing, just like me, to go talk to the other side and actually have a conversation with the other side. Because sometimes what I'm afraid is that we are just speaking to our own people that are already going to vote for, blue across the board. And we're not actually trying to have the conversation with the other side, because I got to be real with you. I don't think Republicans or conservatives are dumb. I really don't. I've really taken a look at what Donald Trump has done. And to me, from my personal opinion, it looks like he conned them. He found a way.
There's a difference between conservatives and Trump supporters.
I mean, the whole package as a whole, even just anyone that is going to get his vote has been conned into voting for him in one shape or way or the other, because that's why he, constantly is on one side of the issue, on the other side of the issue. There's no consistency there. He's talking about Arnold Palmer's genitals. It's like, what's going on? And it's almost like he doesn't want to win the election this time too. Like he's been canceling debates. He's dancing on stage for 30 minutes. He's doing all of these things, and still there's people that are willing to vote for him. And we have to really have the real conversation about how much do you actually hate women?
Yeah.
Because that's what it really, truly, it feels like it's coming down to, because this man is completely not qualified. And again, Kamala has her issues, but she's also been Madam Vice President.
She could be worked on.
She's been AG. And yes, there was even the lies about, the black men that she locked up, when it actually was like,
who sued Donald Trump for defamation, by the way.
Yeah, because she actually didn't, like the situation for marijuana in California. Like she was technically the AG at the time, overseeing the entire project. And there were some things that got through that she may not have been privy to, or maybe not even had the full control over. These were other people that were dealing with those cases, but then she was made responsible for that. There's been so many lies about her. And again, there's also some truths about her too, that the way that she answered that trans comment, hopefully, maybe even if her team sees this, they can do a little bit better if they want to reach out to her. Let's invite Kamala.
I think, and you know what though? And again, I'm not mad at my trans siblings who criticize her. That's not the thing.
No.
I'm just letting you know she is better to be worked on than Donald Trump.
100%.
And let's also be clear. There's
she's malleable to a sense.
Yeah. And the reason why I say there's a difference between conservatives and Trump supporters is over 200 Republicans are supporting Kamala, including Liz and Dick Cheney. And I think with Trump supporters, Trump is able to radicalize them a lot more. And I think a lot of people are taking a different approach this time into Kamala because Kamala was a secret weapon they weren't expecting.
Yeah.
They were expecting Joe Biden to somehow, some way finish off this whole thing and we will vote between Donald Trump and Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Kamala was the secret weapon that nobody saw coming. And for me, I think it's important that a woman takes the lead. I think it's important that someone who's a little bit younger and much more experienced, especially as a prosecutor, be able to take the reins of that. And Shane,
I've seen women run households, so I'm ready for it.
And I love your point that you said about, women running the household and everything, but there's also a lot of men that are having to step up and do that as well too. And women are now having to be more in the job force.
Yeah.
And having to make that money. Like we're in different times now. Yeah. And it's so important that we give everyone their flowers. And, to my trans community, I love y'all so much. You're my siblings, but we have to show up and vote. I know you are unsatisfied with the issues at hand.
We all are.
Listen to you. And I don't want to police people because going back to my disruption of the debate that I disrupted or whatever, I know what it's like to have a passionate feeling over issues that are so important to you. I know what it feels like. But if you're not going to show up and vote, you are making unnecessary noise and you need to step out the way and move and just do what you need to do over here and let the rest of us work to get Kamala in office. Let the rest of the trans and non-binary people who don't want their rights taken away be able to put Kamala in that office so we can hold her accountable. Yeah. This is the thing. I have never said that she could not be held accountable. I never said she was above accountability.
And I'm not saying she's perfect.
I would love my trans siblings to hold her accountable. Yes. But you better show up and vote her in so you can
so you have the
hold her
opportunity
accountable
in the future.
Exactly.
Because, again, remember, the things that Trump is threatening, this is the last election there will be.
Correct.
And let's actually take people for what they're saying when it comes to these threats to our constitutional democracy as Americans.
Yes.
Because again, our community, it's hard to say I'm proud to see the American flag, even with as much white privilege as I have and access, because I've experienced so much, as you know, through the system. But there's still some weird part of me that still has hope in the alleged American dream that was imprinted on us as children, that we can still, because we're kids of the 90s, there was that one little period in the 90s where everybody was melting pot and mixing together, and there was like tie-dye shirts, and it was a really cute moment. And I know that we can get to a point where we as a society can actually focus on what's important, like the crumbling infrastructure that's going on, the economic issues, the fact of, when I go to the grocery store now, something that used to cost me $30 is costing me $70. Those are the things that are not just impacting trans people, but impacting our entire country. And I think I'm really tired of trans people as being used as a distraction.
Correct.
When these politicians need to be focusing on what is really important. And, just to end it on a light note too, Solomon, do you have that balloon popping video for...
Yeah, I finally found it.
Okay, cool. Because I wanted to get that in there. Because again, I just want to give another shout out to Kamala HQ for making a shift. Because I think we as Democrats kind of need to show up with a little bit more yeehaw.
And support trans people, by the way.
It's good to be here.
Check this out.
How much do you make?
I work in finance, making six figures.
How tall are you?
6'5".
Do you have a plan to vote in November?
Nah, not my thing.
Pop the balloon and find love. One of my favorite shows. I
Right,
love it. I
right.
wish there was a trans version of that. I cannot wait for that to happen.
We could probably even make that here if we wanted to.
Yeah.
You know?